Planet Dolan.
From bathing in a kitchen sink to sharing a crime scene photo on Facebook, we count 8 of the craziest things people did to get fired. Hey there, I'm Hellbent. I'm here to learn you suspiciously amazing facts that I didn't just make up. Number 8. When looking for advice, some may write to an advice columnist while others might confide in a family member or friend. A substitute teacher in New York, Cassandra Fearing, needed advice, so she asked her 4th grade class for advice on dating. Turns out that she wasn't sure which boyfriend she should keep, and she thought these kids had enough dating experience to give her good advice. As you can imagine, this didn't sit very well with the New York Department of Education, and they fired her. While she later admitted to using poor judgment, she didn't think she deserved to be fired. Number 7. Unfortunately and disgustingly, it's not unusual to have disgruntled restaurant employees putting bodily fluids in a food and serving it to unsuspecting diners. In North Carolina, Domino's Pizza employees Michael Setzer and Christy Hammonds did just that, only it was a prank and they never actually served the food that they had tainted. While Setzer put cheese up his nose and mucus on sandwiches, Hammonds filmed it. Then they chose to post it online, because what kind of repercussions could possibly result from violating the health code? Well, in addition to being fired, Setzer and Hammonds also faced felony charges. Let's just hope they told the truth and the food Setzer prepared never left the kitchen. Number 6. How far in 2007 would you have gone to win a Nintendo Wii? For example, would you have drank dangerously large amounts of water? That's what happened to Jennifer Strange back in 2007 when she entered a radio contest called Hold Your Wii for a Wii. In this contest, the participants had to drink water without peeing for a certain period of time. Despite listeners calling in and warning everyone about the dangers of water intoxication, plus Strange being heard complaining about pains towards the end, she continued to drink water. She ended up drinking 2 gallons of water and dying of water intoxication. As a result, 10 employees of the radio station were fired, and Strange's husband filed a lawsuit. Number 5. Imagine looking through a friend's photos on Facebook, Twitter, or some other social media site. We've all done it, but how many of those pictures were of a deadly car crash? Probably none, but not everyone who saw one fireman's photos can say that. While a fireman was at the scene of a fatal crash that killed a teenager and seriously injured 3 others, he took some inappropriate pictures of the crash and posted them to Snapchat. Needless to say, after investigators saw the pictures on his profile, the fireman was immediately and rightfully fired for the offense. Maybe he should have taken a picture of a cat stuck up in a tree instead of a flaming corpse. Number 4. Yet another emergency services employee posting an inappropriate picture on social media, only this one was posted by a paramedic. And the picture was that of murder victim Caroline Wimmer. When Staten Island paramedic Mark Musarilla arrived at the scene, he took a picture of Wimmer's body with his cell phone and posted it on Facebook. He was fired with his emergency medical technician certification taken away. Musarilla was also charged with official misconduct and was sentenced to 200 hours of community service. Probably should have given him a class in ethics too while they're at it. Number 3. You might think that relaxing in a hot tub after a long day of work is necessary to unwind. These Kentucky Fried Chicken employees in California just couldn't wait until they got home. It turns out that 3 girls one night decided to strip down to their bikinis and take a hot bath in the large sinks. While enjoying their bath time, the girls took pictures of each other in their makeshift hot tub. One of them, however, slipped up by posting one of the pictures on her MySpace. Once the picture was discovered, the 3 girls found themselves in even hotter water when they were fired. A similar incident happened at a Burger King in Ohio when an employee decided to use the sink to take a bubble bath. Number 2. A cafeteria worker at Hudson Elementary School in Missouri was caught giving free lunches to a student and consequently was fired. Sounds reasonable enough, but there's more to the story. Diane Brom, the cafeteria worker, noticed a 4th grader walk through the lunch line every day without money. It turns out he didn't reapply for a free lunch program due to a language barrier. So she started letting the starving student charge his meals, with his debt raising to $45 when the maximum was only $10. Brom also gave him free hot meals. One day her supervisor caught her and Brom's charity work came to an end. Unlike the other entries on this list, what this employee did to get fired was kind and generous, though the fact that she was fired was what was crazy. On the bright side, due to the public outcry over her firing, Brahm's job was eventually reinstated. Number 1. Now for another entry on this list where the actual firing was crazy, not what the employee did. If an employee doesn't do his or her job, then chances are they'll get the dreaded pink slip. South Florida lifeguard Thomas Lopez found himself fired one day for doing his job. He was at his post when a beachgoer rushed to his post saying a man was drowning, so he jumped down and ran over to save him. Well, Lopez still ended up getting fired because the man he saved was outside his coverage zone, even though another lifeguard was watching his post. After the man was saved, Lopez's supervisor fired him right on the spot. Despite how ridiculous the firing was, the company offered Lopez's job back, but Lopez declined, saying he wanted to instead focus on his education.
The firing. Despite how ridiculous the firing was, the company offered Lopez his job back, but Lopez declined, saying he wanted to instead focus on his education.
Blah 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 blah. Too many fucking words! Jesus! And we've reached the end of the video, which means it's time for another question. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened while on a date? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below and you might be featured in a future countdown. And that's all I got for today. I'm gonna go make some offensive tweets about my boss. Nothing could go wrong there. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Probably.
A bunch of 4chan users created a fake Entertainment Tonight story claiming Bieber had just been diagnosed with cancer. They included Photoshop images of a bald Bieber and requested that fans shave their own heads in solidarity and share pictures online under the hashtag #BaldForBieber. You better believe they fell for it.